This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday morning, the 7th of December. James Spann here. Last week, we had to worry about snowflakes. This week, we have to worry about a potential strong to severe thunderstorm setup. No dull moments here. Let's go right to some of the Skycam images early this morning at 5 o'clock. That's kind of nice, isn't it? That's the Prattville Skycam looking right through a Christmas wreath. Right off Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville, or U.S. Highway 82 near Interstate 65. It's cloudy and chilly this morning, but certainly not as cold as yesterday. There's the Birmingham Skycam looking south from the Daniel Building back over toward Red Mountain and from downtown Jasper. Last night they were right at freezing during the 10 o'clock news, but they've gone up into the upper 30s this morning as the clouds have thickened there. That's a pretty interesting pattern. Very cold air over much of the northern and northwest United States up into Canada, and a very active southern jet stream. And typically when you've got that, somebody's going to be slammed with snow. And this week it looks like it'll be the area from the plains up toward the Great Lakes, as you'll see. Here's a look at the numbers around here. We've got 40 in Birmingham, and again, these are at 5 o'clock. Anniston, 36. Montgomery, oddly enough, the cold spot, 34. That's because the sky is still mostly fair down there. The clouds are pretty thicker up this way. And boy, look at those numbers around the continent. Some of the coldest air I've seen all season. Up in Canada, I see one spot up there that's at 34 below zero. What a way to start a Monday. We've got sub-zero temperatures down into Nebraska and single digits down to Denver and Goodland, Kansas. And we got to watch that. That cold air is going to spread out in the wake of this storm that we'll deal with early in the week. And some of that shallow cold air will be in here later in the week, and with an impulse Friday or Friday night. I'll have to watch that. There's a look at our watch warning map this morning. Look at all of that. Winter storm warnings out for a large chunk of the west, California mountains, pretty good chunk of Utah down into northern Arizona. Flagstaff, they could pick up 18 inches of snow from this. And ahead of that, winter storm watches in effect, all the way from Kansas up into the Great Lakes, and includes cities like Omaha, Des Moines, Chicago, Milwaukee, and those gaps will probably be filled in there later today. And here we go with a severe weather look. This is day one today. We've got a low-end probability on the Gulf Coast, the western Gulf, around Galveston and Lake Charles, and that's not even a slight risk. But tomorrow, we do have a slight risk. For all of Alabama, Mississippi, and a good chunk of Louisiana. And this is really valid through 6 a.m. Wednesday. And the main risk would seem to be from almost midnight tomorrow night until 6 a.m. Wednesday. And we'll take a more detailed look at that here with modeling. This is the 06C GFS at noon today. And you can see that strong energy moving into California. Very strong southern jet. And down below that, one impulse shows up producing light rain over a pretty good chunk of Mississippi today, and really not much over Alabama. We'll mention some risk of a shower or two today, but probably not much rain. Otherwise, the day will be cloudy and cool. We'll be in the 40s almost all day. It certainly won't feel like severe weather today. Tomorrow, that energy comes out over southeastern Colorado at shortwave, and down below that, there's your developing surface low near Amarillo. It's going to be a big snow there for Denver and parts of Kansas and Nebraska, Iowa. And you can see that the south winds are really starting to kick in here, and it almost looks like some type of warm front shows up near Montgomery with heavier rain developing over North Alabama. No doubt tomorrow will be wetter than today. Looks like periods of rain are likely much of the day. Now, let's go to tomorrow night at midnight. And boy, that is a very cold look there for much of Canada and the cold air getting down into the central U.S. The Vortex is located north of Harrison, Arkansas. And down below that, the surface low at midnight is really about in the same place, really near St. Louis, and it's under 1,000 millibars. And if we had decent instability, no doubt that would be a very good setup for a severe weather outbreak. Helicity values are going to be off the chart with a look like that, meaning rotating updrafts and the potential for tornadoes. But wait a minute now. The big question is instability. Let's see what it looks like here. This is off the NAM, and this is actually valid at 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. And yeah, a little bit of surface-based cape, but boy, not much. The capes are at 250 as far north as Jasper and Birmingham and Gadsden, and points south. and nothing over the Tennessee Valley. So it's going to be one of these cold season, very high shear, low cape situations. But no doubt with that kind of forcing, there could be some damaging winds and maybe a tornado in there somewhere. So we'll have to watch that, and we'll fine-tune it as we get closer. And then Wednesday at midday, this is Wednesday at noon, whole thing is out of here. The surface low is near Detroit. And look at the cold air. And understand now, as the cold air begins to move in here, the thickness values will not reflect it that well because of the shallow nature of the cold air. Wednesday could be a day with falling temperatures. There's Thursday. And again, that's that big cold look over Canada and much of the nation. And again, down below that, you can see that the thickness values don't look that cold, but I would imagine the cold air might be just a few thousand feet deep. So I don't think we get out of the 40s on Thursday. And then Friday, here comes the next impulse to the west, and then Friday night at midnight, that makes you want to go, For now, that we're just going to mention rain Friday night, but I'm telling you, I don't think the models are doing a good job with handling the critical low-level thickness values. Could there be some snowflakes in there, or maybe even some risk of freezing rain? For now, we'll just mention that as some possibility. In the forecast, we'll just talk about rain, and then by midday Saturday, that impulse is gone as we kick off the weekend. The rain off to the east, and then Sunday looks dry and cool. This is Sunday the 13th. And Monday, a week from today, looks dry. All right, winter weather fans, let's dig deeper. How about December 19th? Big old trough approaching, and let's see what we've got here. It's your classic Gulf low, 540 line, somewhere around Coleman. And look, this is voodoo. This will probably be gone on the next run. Could something like this happen? Absolutely. Will it? We don't know. Or will it happen at that time? Probably not. The low pulls northeast. The thickness values drop. 540 line goes down to Dothan. All snow for Alabama. And on the 21st, big dump of Arctic air. So the model is showing a pre-Christmas snowstorm, but again, this is pure voodoo here. We know that. And then on the 22nd of December, this is the end of the forecast, the trough onto the east. That looks like we'll start to warm up a bit there, but look at this. That's attention grabbing. This is the Arctic Oscillation. Almost goes off the chart out there, just a little bit past mid-month. So I don't know. Again, you just get the idea. This will be a very interesting month to watch the weather in Alabama. And that's what we do. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video by 3:30 or so today. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great Monday, and God bless.
Each day, there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.